Do you ever want to pilot a spaceship? Great. Here are the 20 best budget cards to help you pilot Inspirit.
And you're gonna have to cut these 20 cards to make room for all of those.
And that's it. The Moxfield link below has all the info. You can stop watching.
But if you're curious about the deck, you want to see how it plays out of the box, we're going to do a live streamed two-headed giant game with 2 Jeskai against 2 Jund, and it's going to be on July 26th. And if you want to see how the deck plays with our upgrades, should be a little bit of a better game, we're going to play that on August 17th.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
And don't forget to join our Discord, subscribe, but to infinity and beyond, let's go! Inspirit, flagship vessel, is a new spacecraft we have in the command zone. Its 8 charge counter ability to give all your artifacts hexproof and indestructible is absurd.
When you're giving your team extra power every turn, you're going to get to that 8 very quickly. And then you're covering your whole board from most kinds of removal, including combat damage. You can just be swinging for free every turn if all your stuff is artifact creatures. Plus, there's a lot of old great cards that utilize charge counters that were definitely not designed considering 2 free charge counters every turn.
Like Magistrate's Scepter. If you have Proliferate on your board, you take infinite extra turns.
Yeah, I believe that's pretty good.
Is that good?
Yeah.
All right.
We're also looking at Lost Jite. We don't really care to put this on a creature. We can just be using it to untap 2 lands every turn. We can give creatures unblockable, or we can actually use it for its intended purpose and pump something huge.
Untapping 2 lands a turn for 1 mana is gross.
Gross.
Vantress Gargoyle, Medicant Core Guidelight, and Emissary Escort are our next 3 adds. You play them all on turn 2, and they all do a great job of getting to that 8+ charge counter mark on your commander by turn 4. Not to mention, they all will get hexproof and indestructible.
The last cards focusing on stationing up our commander quick are Dreamtide Whale and Rescue Leopard. Both of them have utility beyond a nice power stat, with lots of utility including proliferating and drawing cards.
Goldforge Thopterix, Padim Console of Innovation, and Bronze Guardian are great ways of protecting your commander while your commander is protecting your board.
And Dovin's Veto and an offer you can't refuse are going to round out that boot for our Achilles heel. When our whole board has indestructible and hexproof, there's still a handful of cards in the game that are going to get around removing them. So these counters are here to make sure that even those cards can't stop us.
And when your board is fully protected, blow up the rest of it. Arrow Revelation is a perfect way of capitalizing when your board is fully protected and no one else's is. For the low cost of 3 mana, you keep your entire board and you destroy everything else. Let us know in the comments if that's any good.
Liquid Metal Torque is going to ensure that any of the creatures in our deck that aren't artifacts are protected from stuff like this. It's a mana rock, which is phenomenal early, and it's going to cover anything we want with hexproof and indestructible at instant speed.
Neoform Sentinel is also a form of a mana rock in this deck. You can untap a blocker, another thing to station, a land to ramp. Not to mention it's an artifact, so it will be protected.
Reluctant Role Model is another great creature to be able to tap at will. When you've got a vehicle or a spacecraft in your command zone, you're reliably putting flying, lifelink, or 1/1 counters on your creatures, and then he can facilitate transitioning all of those counters or even your charge counters between your creatures.
Trophy Mage is our next add. The 3 mana artifact slot in this deck is so jam-packed with valuable adds.
Even the precon, honestly. There's some fantastic new cards that are all 3 mana artifacts.
But most of the time you're probably going to find Magistrate's Scepter.
Yeah, Requisition Raid and Voyage Home aren't quite as sexy as some of our other ads, but decks like this need cards like this to function.
You can't ignore the backbone of a commander deck.
You need removal, you need card draw, especially for a deck with a curve this low, and then Requisition Raid's ability to put a 1/1 counter on each of your creatures will lean into all the proliferate synergy in the precon.
Anand Pakal 1000th... Oh my god. Anand Pakal...
Which moon is it?
Nope. is a great way of closing the game when you've got your commander up and running. Making a bunch of hexproof and indestructible gnomes by going very wide by using Inspirit's ability to put 1/1 counters on this is so sweet.
Inspirit's first station ability only requires 1 charge counter, so this 1 power is getting it going.
And when you attack with no fear from indestructible, this goes crazy pretty fast. In the spirit of good ads, you need good cuts. Evolving Wilds, Lonely Sandbar, Golem Foundry, Mindless Automaton, and Chrome Host Seed Shark are the first cuts we would make in this deck. There's 40 lands in this deck, we don't need them. Golem Foundry, Magistrate Scepter, you decide. And Mindless Automaton and Chrome Host Seed Shark are just not very good cards.
They require way too much investment to actually do anything, and then even the thing they do isn't very good. For the same reason, we're cutting Crystalline Crawler, Moxite Refinery, Threefold Thunderhulk, Lux Artillery, and Deep Glow Skate. These are all pretty mana-intensive cards that just don't make enough of an impact. Some of them are really cool, like Crystalline Crawler or Lux Artillery, but man, needing 30 counters among all your permanents before this really does anything makes it not a good card.
Our next 5 cuts are Angel of Ruins, Cloud Key, Fumigate, Gavel of the Righteous, and Universal Surveillance. I mean, right down the list, we're not reanimating for Angel. We have a low curve as is for Cloud Key. We're adding a much better and cheaper board wipe. Gavel of the Righteous is so close, but a miss. And Universal Surveillance is not at an efficient rate.
And finally, the best cards we gotta cut are Empowered Auto-Generator, Etched Oracle, Experimental Augury, Techathal, Inquiry Dominus, and Wake the Past. A lot of these are great cards that just barely miss the mark. High ceilings, but very, very low floors. You'll see that pattern like Auto-Generator comes in tapped. Wake the Past is 7 mana, and it's only good if all of our stuff has already died, which we're really, really focusing on it not doing. Etched Oracle and Experimental Augury are nice card draw, but we just have better cards that are going in. And then with Techathal, we're not as hard focused on proliferating as a Kilo deck might be.
Were you ever a child? I'm sure you were, but fucking... What am I trying to say there?
Careful there, Epstein.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay.
Release the files.